Hello, in this lecture I will talk about the pyramid of energy. So, in the first two lectures I had talked about the pyramids of number and the pyramid of biomass. In this lecture I will talk about the pyramid of energy. Now, what the pyramid of energy is? Again, it's a graphical representations. We are looking at that each trophic level, how much energy is there. So, we are now measuring and representing the amount of energy at each trophic level. Now, from our lecture of energy flow within an ecosystem, now it is clear that the sun's energy is now fixed by the producers. That producers, then we have the primary consumers which feed on the producers, then we have the secondary consumers which feed on the primary consumers, and the tertiary consumers which feed on the secondary consumers. That concept is clear. We had discussed in many lectures, we had talked about the flow of energy within an ecosystems. We had again discussed that in food chain and the food web. So I think that part is clear. Now let us talk about the pyramid of energy. I think you remember we had talked in our lecture on 10% law that what happens to energy when it moves along the food chain. What happens when energy moves along a trophic level? We had seen that the highest number of energy or highest amount of energy is present in the producers, and after producers use some of that energy, some of the energy is lost as heat, and the primary consumer feed on those producers. Only a small amount of energy gets actually transferred into the primary consumers, and that's only the 10%. So what I'm telling again, so we have the producers, then we have, let us say, the primary consumers, then we have the secondary consumer, and let us say tertiary consumer. What happens to the energy? So these are the trophic levels. This is the trophic level number 1, this is the trophic level number 2, this is the trophic level number 3, and this is the trophic level number 4. At which trophic levels we have the highest amount of energy? Obviously, the highest amount of energy will be at the producer level, because maximum energy is fixed. Maximum energy the producer is actually fixing from that solar radiations. We have talked about this during the energy flow. So after what happens once the producer has fixed energy? See, we have seen in the example, we have given an example. Suppose this producer fixes 10,000 joules, these green plants, it fixes 10,000 joules. What will happen? What will be the amount of actual amount which will be present in the primary consumer? Just recollect what you have studied. So the first producer have, if it has 10,000 joules and this primary consumer is getting that 10,000 joules, actually what is the amount of energy which will be present in that primary consumer in that trophic level after it has used, after some of the energy has lost in the form of heat and some of the energy is lost doing some metabolic activities. So actually how much of energy will be present in this level? 10% of this. So what will be that amount? We will have 1000 joules. Similarly, in the secondary consumer, again the 10% of this 100 joules of energy will be present, 100 joules. And over here tertiary consumer, it will come to the 10 joules. So what is happening over here? The amount, there is a progressive loss of energy once we move from the trophic levels along a food chain. Is that part clear? Now, if you want to graphically represent that in the form of pyramids, and to represent the pyramid of energy, then what will be the pyramid will look like what? The producers will have the maximum block. So this is a block for the producers. This is the amount of block. Let us say this is the amount of energy which is present in the producers. The primary consumers will have less than that, 10% of it, primary consumers. Secondary consumers will have less than that, secondary consumers. Tertiary consumers will have still less than that. Okay, so this will decrease by 10%. Only 10% will be present over here. 10% of this will be present over here. 10% of this will be present in the tertiary consumer. So this is a upright pyramid, or this is an inverted pyramid? Obviously, this is an upright pyramid where the producers have the maximum, then the primary consumer, then the secondary consumer, and last we have the tertiary consumer. So this type of pyramid, or the pyramid of energy, this is an upright pyramid. Have you understood this? This should be very clear, because we have discussed all this. That's why I have said that what we have learned till the last lectures, that all will get summarized, that all ideas, what we have learned from that lectures, we will use those ideas in understanding the pyramids. So the pyramid of energy, you will find an upright pyramid of energy. Now think, can there be some inverted pyramid of energy in any ecosystem? Can there be inverted pyramid of energy in the ecosystem? No, because in ecosystems, what happens? The producers fix the maximum energy from the solar radiation, from the grazing. We are talking about the grazing ecosystems, where the producers take the maximum energy. Then we have the primary consumer, then the secondary consumer, then the tertiary consumer. So the energy maximum is present, fixed or present at these trophic levels. So we're considering the trophic levels. This is trophic level number 1, this is trophic level number 2, this is trophic level number 3, and this is trophic level number 4. So we have 4 trophic levels. As we move along the trophic levels, the amount of energy gets less, and the pyramid of energy will look like this, which is an upright pyramid of energy. So the pyramid of energy will always be upright. There will be no inverted, no spindle shaped pyramid of energy. So pyramid of energy will always be upright. So this is a difference between the pyramid of energy and the pyramid of biomass and the pyramid of numbers, because pyramid of numbers, we have seen it can be 3 types. We have the upright pyramid of number, the inverted pyramid of number, as well as spindle shaped pyramids, so spindle shaped. Then the pyramids of biomass, we have seen it can be upright, it can be inverted, but pyramid of energy is always upright. Hope this part you have understood. If you have not understood this, I will tell you, go back to our lectures on energy flow, the 3-part lecture on energy flow. Just have a look, then come back over here. I think that it will be clear to you. You will be able to understand this part. Okay. In the next part, we'll talk about the importance and the limitations of ecological pyramids, because you will now, some questions have come in your mind. That questions, you will see that those are the limitations. We have not used certain terms over here while discussing. We have not taken account of decomposers. We have not used that term. Although decomposers, those decomposers are very, very important for the food chain, for this ecosystem, but in the pyramids of biomass, in the pyramids of numbers, even in the pyramids of energy, we have not considered the decomposers. So that is one of the limitations. It doesn't take account of the decomposers. So we'll talk about those in the next part, where we'll talk about the importance of ecological pyramids as well as the limitations of ecological pyramids.